I'm Johnny, and we're the Artistic Nomads. We are in the middle of a radically reducing project. We are reducing our belongings in order to live full-time in an RV. In this video, we are talking about sorting through our clothing. Since we're on we're on a pretty tight deadline to minimize our possessions, we just piled all of our clothes on the floor, just in a big pile on the floor, and we started sorting.
Unlike us, you're probably not on a deadline to reduce your belongings, so you may have a little bit more time or a lot more time to decide what clothing to keep and what clothing to get rid of. There are several different approaches you can take to test out a reduced wardrobe or to see what you're actually wearing and know what to give away.
The first option is to use the reverse hanger test. In this one, you turn all the hangers in your closet around backwards. Then every time you wear something and you put it back in your closet, turn the hanger back to its normal position. At the end of the experiment, donate or recycle whatever you don't wear that's still on the backwards hanger. This usually works best for about a month or so, but some people will run this experiment for 6 months or even up to a year.
Another popular approach is to take the 3-3-3 challenge. This was created by Courtney Carver as a way to temporarily reduce your wardrobe and see how it works for you. The basic idea is you live for 3 months with only 33 items of clothing. And that doesn't mean just clothing. That includes accessories, jewelry, and yes, shoes. There are exceptions for your 33 items when you're counting them out. So things like pajamas, workout clothes, if you have wedding rings that you wear every day, you don't have to count those as part of your 33 items. At the end of the 3 months, which usually coincides with a season, you can continue the project by switching out your clothes for the new season or by trading out things that you didn't wear as much as you thought you would for things that you missed.
We'll link to the 333 project in the box below so you can see the specifics and decide if this is something you want to try out.
Now for our clothing sort, we decided to separate it into 2 sorts. So I did my sort and then Johnny did his in another session. That way we can each focus on our own wardrobe rather than trying to bounce back and forth between Johnny making a decision, me making a decision, back and forth.
We did sit just off camera for the other person's sort. This was the support. So we could provide input for each other and we can support each other in making those decisions. And I'm going to tell you, during this process, having a support person is really, really important.
Because you do come across items that bring up emotions or that are really difficult to let go of, and having another person there who can get to the heart of the matter when you're waffling, oh, I don't want to give this up, oh, but I need to give it up, and then they can say just the right thing that makes you make that decision.
Letting go is hard.
It can be. We approached our sort by asking 5 questions about each of the items that we went through. And those 5 questions are, is it torn? Is it stained? Does it fit? Does it fit? Does it fit?
Clothing that is torn beyond repair or stained does not need to stay in the wardrobe, with a few exceptions. Being an artist, I like to keep a few painting shirts around so I can get them all messy when I'm out in the studio. And it's also good to have I don't care clothing for when you're doing yard work or working on the car, or if I have to go out and putz around with the RV batteries or something like that. So keeping a few of these pieces of clothing was within our rules. The rest we're giving away for rags, quilting, and or recycling.
With does it fit, there's actually 3 different factors that come into play. The first is, does it fit my body? In my case, I recently lost weight and a lot of the clothes that I had left were now too big for me to wear. There was no reason for me to hold on to clothes that weren't the right size. The next thing I ask is, does it fit my personal style? And that means the personal style that I have now. A lot of people will hold on to clothes that they used to wear all the time 5 years ago, or they used to wear all the time even 10 or 15 years ago. It was their favorite piece of clothing. But they're not the same person, and I'm not the same person I was in the past. I have to look at what I wear now. The third way that you answer the does it fit question is, does it fit the space I have available for storing my clothes?
We're moving into an RV. We're going to have smaller closet space, smaller drawer space. Everything's going to be a lot smaller than it is in a full-size house. And so maybe we'll have some room for a tub of seasonal clothing that we change out so that not everything is in the RV immediately accessible. Since we don't know how much space we're going to have, we may possibly have to do another clothing sort once we get the RV and see how much of our stuff is going to fit.
Clothing is one area that can be more difficult to sort through because the way we present ourselves to the world can be tied to our identity. For some people, the phrase "we are what we wear" is truth. So for them, giving away clothing is like giving away a piece of themselves. Now for us, we kind of got around that by focusing on the fact that if we're not wearing it because we're not the person we were 5 years ago, or because it doesn't fit us anymore, it could be out in the world being enjoyed by someone else.
I actually had this realization while we were sorting through our clothes that the world is my closet. So if I'm not keeping something right now, that's okay, because while we're traveling and going to all these other new cool places, there's going to be a thrift store, there's going to be a shop, there's going to be, a big box store somewhere where if I need a piece of clothing for like an appointment or a professional interview, or I need another chef coat because I splooged all over my other one, there are stores available that I can go buy other clothing at. And then when I'm done with it, since if I got it from a thrift store, it only cost me $1 or $2, I'm okay with donating it back to the world and not hanging on to it.
Another thing to remember as you're making these clothing choices is that if you have a smaller wardrobe, you're going to have to do laundry or visit the dry cleaners more often. So you want to make sure you're keeping clothing that is easy to deal with, easy to launder. We learned this on our various road trips because we were taking road trips that were 2 and 3 weeks long, and we had to decide, do we take the extra suitcase to fit all of the clothes that we're going to need for that time?
That's insane.
Or do we carve out time at our destination to actually do laundry? And in recent years, we've gone with that second option, and we're just pickier about which clothes we take with us, because we know we're going to have to wear them multiple times, and we make sure that they're ones that are easy to wash so we're not having to find a dry cleaner in a strange town.
We were practicing.
Yes, we were practicing.
One of the things we learned is as you're sorting through your clothing, make sure to check the pockets, especially with the items that you're going to donate. You might find, notes or mementos or accessories, sometimes money. You never know what's going to be in there. So just random stuff. So make sure to check all your pockets for the stuff that you're donating and you're recycling.
When it comes to eliminating clothes from your wardrobe, you have a lot of options. You can choose to sell them using a consignment shop, having a yard sale, or putting them online on Craigslist or eBay or something like that. You can donate to charity clothing drives and thrift stores. You can seek out homeless or domestic violence shelters where people need clothing. And today there are even programs across the country that will take interview style clothing and office wear to use in programs to help people who are getting back into the workplace. There are also programs now where you can recycle your clothing, and they will take the stuff that's stained and torn and can't be worn by people and make it into rags or blankets or other kinds of textiles. So if you just do a little bit of research, you can keep those things from ending up in the landfill.
And that's part of, if you've been watching our videos, part of our Radically Reducing project is, a big part of it is recycling. We're really trying to not throw stuff away in the trash randomly. We really want to be more conscientious about the environment and how we're taking care of it with the stuff we've accumulated. That's it for our clothing sort, and since we did our sort separately, we're going to upload 2 different videos this week or in the next few days, so you can see the process and how we've applied the 5 rules, remember those 5 rules from earlier in the video, to each piece of clothing.
We wrote a blog post about reducing your wardrobe that you can find on artisticnomads.com, and we'll put a link in the description below. In addition to tips about how to approach the clothing sort, it includes resources for donating and recycling.
Be sure to share your own radically reducing project stories with us in the comments below or on the social media using the hashtag radically reducing. We would love to see your videos, your photos, written notes, or any other documentation you've got about reducing your stuff.
And in between these videos, you can find us on social media. We're at Artistic Nomads on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Make sure to like this video, share this video, especially if you want to see more like them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss anything that we're posting up.
Thanks for watching.
See you on the road. This week we sorted through all of our electronic items. Think computers, televisions, monitors, cords, cables, discs, etc.